Hello and welcome to Arcos Disc Golf. We've got front nine coverage of Heritage Park Disc Golf Course. I'm Ty Browning here commentating with Quin Napier,
What's going on, guys?
and we are. Here's the first shot by Browning.
Absolutely pipes it down the middle. You can tell by his reaction. He's loving that shot right there.
Now Napier never playing on this course
This is the
before.
first time, and I'm just throwing a little metal flake T-bird out there.
And this was one of the farthest shots I've ever seen on this hole. I've played this course a number of times, and the amount of skill shown on that first shot by Napier is pretty astounding.
Feels
Here we've
good.
got Bair. He's
The local disc golfer here in
Yeah.
the Kansas City area, and just kind of shakes that one to the tree there. Maybe first throw jitters there.
Yeah, he told us before the round he hadn't quite played around this year, so
2019,
that
opening
might
up with
explain
Heritage.
that. So he had sort of a look. It looks like he accidentally threw it a little bit too far. He was trying to get a turnover with a Roadrunner, I believe.
He's just got the pitch out here with his little putter here.
Yeah, I
Not
believe
not
that's
really the
his-
best pitch out either, honestly.
Yeah, that was his wizard, and it gave him a look, but a pretty backhand dominant player.
It's pretty hard to get that in there without a forehand.
Yeah,
So-
he's trying to throw his Thunderbird on kind of a flex shot, and he got a good kick there.
Here's Ty throwing the anvil.
The anvil, I was trying to just pop that up and let it ride, but I just threw it right into the ground and ended up scooting right into that pine.
I'm actually going to follow suit here and throw the anvil, but I throw it about 500 feet too high. And it kind of works out inside circle, maybe 15 feet.
That'll get a putt. That's all you want.
Here's Henry.
Throwing the wizard, trying to get a little lofty run on it.
And it looked really good at this point.
Oh.
I thought it might can it up there for a second.
That was quite a ride.
Here's Ty.
I'm just trying to flick a classic blend Marshall, and it just...
Was that the harp?
That was a Marshall.
That was a
That
Marshall.
was a Marshall.
Oh, wow.
I just gave it way too much height, and I'm clearly not very happy about that.
Henry tapping in for double bogey right there.
So I've got branches poking up against me, and
And can we say how muddy it was, too?
it's so
It
muddy.
was incredible.
It had snowed a couple days before, and oh man,
You
this
got
was
the
first
dripping
one.
wet. There, I'm cleaning up the birdie there.
Great first hole to
Good.
take a 2-stroke lead on me and a 3-stroke lead on Henry. Just starting out.
Yeah, staying on the fairway on that hole is pretty critical. Even
Yeah.
though I've never played it before, it seemed like that's the only way to go.
So I would say this is about 350. I don't think it's a full 395, but it's kind of just a hyzer shot. We're trying to push it left and get under a couple trees and get a nice skip. Quinn left it out a little far right. I'm throwing a TI force here,
And it looks like you just smashed this one.
and I really got a hold of it. It got a great skip. It put me about 40 long, but
Yeah, it hit that snow, I think, and just went right past it.
yeah. Here's Henry trying to throw a destroyer, but it
And,
releases just a little too flat.
yeah,
He seems to have a little bit of trouble throwing hyzers. I think
doesn't
he'll
have the power quite yet, but I think it'll all come together.
Oh,
in the-
it'll
in the-
come.
So here's him throwing his up shot.
Just a little harp, get that little bit of ground
I
play.
like that
and-
harp too. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful harp.
Oh, it's a good one.
Now, here
Now,
I am.
right before this, which, oh yeah, money. He goes up to me and says, "I was just practicing these beforehand." And here I am,
Oh.
giving it a decent run,
Thought it
but
was good.
no commitment. So Henry and I are gonna tap in for par, but Napier's stealing all the momentum in the first couple
getting
of
those
holes.
big ones. Ty tapping out. He's not too happy.
I'm
You're
just
ripping
glad.
that mini out of the ground. And you're like, get that out of here.
Just glad I made the par putt. Here's hole 3, 330 feet, just dead straight,
Throw in a color glow rock 3 here.
and
Just kind of went
puts
a
a
little high.
lot on it.
I misjudged this hole. I thought it was probably a 350 full shot, but it was probably a downhill putter shot. Here.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to do with my Banger GT, but I release a little early. Clearly, I'm just
Simon Lizotte type of reaction right there.
don't quite have it all put together right now.
What's Henry throwing here?
Throwing the Thunderbird, trying to get that hyzer route, but again, he puts it out a little too
Anheuser, yeah.
Anheuser, and he goes into the woods. He gets quite a skip.
He really did get out of there pretty nicely. Ty
So I had one hole.
throwing a crafty little shot right there. Huh?
Yeah, no, it went right into a pine tree. Here's Henry just pitching out,
Yeah.
and you see the mud,
mud just-
splatter, and here, oh boy,
Just right off. That was pretty heartbreaking to see.
yeah.
Here I am for maybe just outside circle.
And I thought this was going.
I thought it was a good putt. There I'm tapping out.
So a four-stroke lead, 3 holes in. Here's just a
I'm
depiction
just trying
of how muddy
to
it is.
get through this mud without absolutely sloshing my feet here.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to be feeling pretty good with this amount of leads so early in the round. You know, your momentum's kind of building.
And even on the putts that aren't hitting, they were still getting
They
to the
were
hole.
still so close, and here you are trying to pipe a destroyer.
Trying to smash a forehand
Yeah,
destroyer. I
it
think,
doesn't
yeah.
quite get it turned over and clips a tree, but you're not in the worst place.
No, I'll be right in the middle there.
Here's Henry again trying to make up for that sidearm with a Roadrunner, but again just doesn't quite get it turned over enough, and
Not really
it'll
put enough on those, yeah.
it's gonna fade out there. You can see it on the left side, and
He's not too happy about
I'm
that.
flicking my enforcer, and I love the snap
thought
I
it was
got on it,
beautiful, man.
but I just put it out too low.
Yeah. So you got a little run over the tree here.
Just
I thought this was pretty good.
Out of my head, I was like, oh, okay, that might have gotten it, but not quite.
An extremely rare forehand here from Henry.
Here's
And
the
you can
Wizard. And I mean that's a good upshot. You know, and
Here I am behind a tree.
just a little gap, and yeah. So safe to say you were feeling
The
it.
putter was feeling it at this point, yes indeed.
The putter couldn't really miss.
And that's pretty good, feeling 3 down through 4. Never playing this course
Especially seeing me and Henry go 2 over on the first 4 holes.
Exactly. And here I am throwing another destroyer, and I thought this was absolutely perfect.
This was mashed, but
Just hit that
a
last
little bit too
that last
much,
Guardian.
yeah.
Oh, this is the one that went long, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, and here's a pretty nice looking flick from Henry. It was able to get a lot of skip out of it. It's still going to leave him about 50 short, but
What are you throwing here?
I'm throwing the Pioneer, and I just released it a little late. Again, had a ton of snap on it, but I hit
And
a
a
tree.
little run here.
And yeah, just trying to stay close. And this little area here, this wind comes
Oh
through
gosh,
and
yeah. It
lifts
kind of
the
lifted it
putter,
straight
yeah.
up, yeah.
And I think it did the exact same thing to Henry's Wizard here, because he gives it a
It just
pretty
goes
decent
so
run, but
high.
it just skies it, and he goes about 30 long.
And I'm tapping out for par.
No hesitation there on the 20-footer.
Henry
Here's-
hopefully making this.
Just a little short. And so Bair's gonna have to settle for
Tapping in.
bogey.
So you got a 1-stroke lead over Henry right now. You're
Yeah, I was looking to have a 1-stroke lead over you, but
You're-
that didn't quite turn out as planned. So
Yeah.
here's a
Section Firebird, actually.
Saxon Firebird. Skips a little
Didn't really
long.
play the hole right. I think I could have gone a little bit more overstable in that shot.
Now, despite the risk in my
I could not believe the
in
shot
my
worked out.
shot, it actually
Went about 15 to the left of it, actually.
yeah, it almost aced it on the skip,
And we're going a little high into the right here.
and he just clips a tree again.
It's a tree. He's
That'll-
got a pretty long run here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this up here.
most likely looking, yeah,
Looking like a layup there.
just a lip. So you kind of coming out of the branches, and
I'm halfway in with thorns in my leg, and
that looked
I
great.
thought it was in.
That looked
I was already running
really
it
nice.
down. Tapping out there for the par.
So
And we haven't even got the tie shot yet, folks, if that shows
well,
you.
I was farther than you guys. You just tapped.
Oh, that's correct. But I mean, still, that's a great shot on this hole right here.
Yeah, and I know that I'm a good amount of strokes down, and
Oh,
yeah,
just
baskets aren't
just right.
like I wasn't putting too hot so far in the round, but the baskets weren't exactly treating
They
me
were
too
not. They
right
were not
either.
being too nice there. Yeah.
So here's just a little hyzer shot. I would say it plays about 300.
I'm throwing a T-bird here, super beat in. And I don't really know where this hole was when I threw it, so
Yeah.
I just kind of went off of recommendations here.
I went Pioneer, and that one turned out perfect.
A little bit more stable shot. That's what you're looking for here.
Here's Henry.
Turning it into the water. Or is it-
Wrong hole.
Wrong hole. Just kidding.
There is no water on this hole.
Another forehand.
And that one actually clipped a branch, and that's why it kind of
Oh, really?
finished earlier. Yeah, it would have been
did not know
a
that.
better upshot, but it
Here for maybe edge
Just
circle,
in the
just outside circle, I'm thinking. And off the top, you can just tell off that release it was going to be high.
so
Right.
I know I've got to capitalize here.
It's got to take a stroke here.
And luckily
Boom,
I do.
right dead center. That's what you're looking for.
And
Henry
a good
taps
comeback
out, yeah.
by Henry.
Definitely good to see. We finally get that putter rolling or something.
Yeah.
And here we are managing the islands of mud again.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through. And yeah,
Here's some of the thorns that we have to
that
contend
is
with.
what was
in
going
this
down
course.
there. So Ty, you gain a stroke here.
So
How
I
are
got
you?
a stroke. I figure throw the Pioneer again, and that one felt fantastic.
I thought that was absolutely parked.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
It got up there for sure.
And here I am throwing the Thunderbird, and I absolutely thought this was perfect.
That
thought this was
it just
over.
held a little bit too
It was
straight.
too straight, yeah. It needed that fade at the end, which
Yeah.
didn't really happen.
And
Here's Henry throwing a Destroyer.
I think
or
that's his Thunderbird, but he just turns it over into that right brush, and that
So again, that Heiser's
he
kinda
got
just
out,
getting
luckily. And here's his upshot.
nicely done. Fades out a little early, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, he just wanted a little bit more Anheuser on that.
So I barely made it over by about 2 feet. We got a
Yeah.
little run here, and just not even close. It was just so low. And then Ty once again tapping into birdie,
So I got that one.
making it look easy.
Starting to gain a little bit of confidence,
Oh,
at least in my putting game. And
You hate to see that, really.
just off the rim.
Yeah, thought he had that one too. Going into hole 9 here.
So I'm flicking my anvil here. I'm trying to just force over an Anheuser, get around the tree, but I just don't put enough on that and then find myself in
Yeah.
the tree.
And I thought this.
So this shot hits metal. We hear it hit metal. And here's this reaction. We think, oh my goodness, he's
guy.
under the basket, right? And we're gonna wait to see where he landed earlier. Here's Henry trying the forehand, and he just releases early.
Yeah, just right into that tree.
Yeah.
Tyler's not happy about that one. But good recovery shot. Really good recovery shot around the tree.
He got it up near the tree.
Oh, he's up near the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, is that him?
No.
Oh, that's right. Ty capitalizing again. That's 3 straight.
And there's
Henry.
Henry missing the.
So here's where I ended up, and all I had is a forehand roller out, folks.
Yeah. And here's Napier tapping in.
You can definitely tell after that one you're not too happy after you hear metal, and then you go 50 feet past into a tree.
So that'll be all for the front 9. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to Arcos Disc Golf.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you in the future.